relevant to you than any other, right?
I mean, you said newspaper, I was thinking even still printed newspapers.
Yeah. But knowing that there are some that are out there, there might be an article or a flyer that might just go in letting them know, hey, look, Helen's got this program, here's the information. I think we have a reporter in the room tonight, so that would be something like that. We'd at least be able to touch base with you.
Thank you.
Now, because a lot of citizens that live in Cassadaga like to find out about our events, they would be able to sign up to it.
Yeah, they're not restricted to an area. In fact, when someone logged on here, they can see the other cities in the country they do. If they happen to be from somewhere, and they wanted to know what was going on in somewhere at home, so you can log into there, but they would create.
I was also looking at it also because if there's a water line breaking Cassadaga, since we maintain those water lines, if we notify them.
Yes, sir, yeah, you can do that.
Is this app free to join for the user?
Yes, no cost whatsoever to the resident, no cost whatsoever.
Okay. That's clear. Any motions?
I make a motion, we accept the, is it a contract?
Yeah. You approve staff to go forward with an engagement letter with.
I make a motion, we approve staff to go forward with the Savvy Citizen Communication application.
Yes, second.
Motion moved in second. Any discussion?
Thank you for this.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Are we going to talk about what Commissioner Evans said, two-way communication? You going to check that out?
Yeah, I will look to see, there are some other, and I've been to some conferences, where, again, a citizen sees something, and they can send that back in, and then it's like it sets up where it goes to public works, or it goes to a certain area. I'll deviate just for a second, if you don't mind, I was at a conference, and they highlighted this particular program that was being done, and they used Toronto as an example. And there was a, I think it was a neighbor, that had killed, and it was on Main Street. And so they had that program. So all day long, people were taking pictures of it, and eventually a memorial wall was being developed around the beaver. So what they highlighted was, if you're going to activate one of these programs, respond to what the citizens are saying. It became kind of a little bit of a joke that this was going all day long, instead of going down and picking up animals, it became a memorial of a shrine. So I remember that one definitely, so I will look into that and I'll bring it back for you.
So we vote the motion? Second?
Yes.
Public Works Director, report. Thank you for hanging in there, Rick.
No problem. I actually just had three things, as I was sitting there thinking I added more. First of all, everybody cool tonight?
Yes.
All our brand new air conditioners we installed last week, it is really working good.
If you come to my house, my air conditioner went out.
They did an excellent job, so Jacob did a really good job putting it in. Second of all, we are on the very cusp of doing the water meters. We're actually going to start them after we do this meter reading. Working out, and Vepo will be the company installing them. I'm working with Corey May. We're going to send out a flyer. They have a template so that everybody knows they'll be coming in the area, and also we notify the residents there on that. So that'll be happening. And the next thing is the cemetery. Roxanne and I have becoming very good with the cemetery. I am going to build a book between them and Blackwell Survey helping us. You'll have a book that when you go through, you'll have the section 8 block M. It'll be one page. It'll be laid out as we get done, which will have a really good map and a book on the cemetery. And I found a way to mark them, a little unconventional, but it works great. You'll see them out there. I did some today. They're actually waterline markers. They're 7-inch ones. I marked the corners with them, and then 4-inch ones in the centers and everything. And they blow over them. They're great. They look good, so I've ordered more. And we're going to do the whole place like that. We'll be able to walk out there and we'll know where somebody goes to the proper burial. right along with it, and it should be a really, really good thing. So I wanted to update you on that. Another question. Are we going to move forward with basketball courts? Because I'm still getting prices, but I didn't know if all, do we still want to continue moving forward?
We're waiting for a bid report.
I mean, I didn't know with all the budgeting and all that, I mean, and wanting to save some money for the city hall. I'll get them as we go, but I just need to know if you did want to keep going forward.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. I'll continue doing that. Okay, I've got Vinny coming in over the next couple of weeks, I'll have 3 prices. And then I'll send out an email from Jim or whatever, all the pricing, so at least you can see it, okay?
And will, maybe it would be helpful to see if the price would change between having one or two.
Yeah, I've already been working on that, 1 or 2, and we've come in right around, so far, around 75,000 per court, which was right within what I thought they would be. Because we're gonna have volunteers remove all the courts for free, the old courts. That's our biggest expense. It's like 15,000 per court removal. That's gonna be taken out.
So it's gonna be 75,000 per
Each,
foot?
yep.
Okay.
That's about what we targeted them to begin with anyway. Okay? So I just wanna make sure.
Is it because there's grading that's gonna be involved, or lighting, or?
No, none of that. We just went bare bones to courts. That's all we're gonna get for now. We can do all the lighting and all that as we go. But it gets the courts in like we wanted to do.
Is it gonna be concrete?
They will be asphalt.
Um,
I got concrete prices, and I'm still working on it, but a lot of them are on asphalt.
yeah, but they're more dangerous.
I'll get all the information on them, but I did do them both, either asphalt or concrete. But that's where we're landing, somewhere around there, so. Okay? Anything else? Anybody got any questions?
Anybody, lighting over the shuffleboard court? We got the power to the wall.
I haven't done anything with that yet.
Yeah.
And they didn't hook up the wire to the lights.
No, that won't be, that's all internal, that doesn't involve the new one. That was all like covered.
Right.
Yeah, most of them are crap. I would say if you're gonna put lights back up, we have to put in new poles, modern lights and LED and all that, and do it right there underground.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Chief, Justine?
I do have something, 1 second.
Yes, sir. We have 3
I'll leave this with a couple of turkey shoot is scheduled for the 15th and 16th of November, and that's from 6 to 9. And the National Night Out is tentatively scheduled for October 18th. I have not set a confirmed date on that, but I should have something set by next week. And that's all I have. If you have any questions for me.
I'm sorry, Chief, what did you say the night out?
National Night Out,
What night?
Friday, October 18th,
Okay.
And what are the dates on the turkey shoot?
15th, 16th
15th and 16th.
of November. And they're both everything's 6 to 9. Starts at 6 to 9.
Who's cooking it?
Oh, I don't know yet. That's why I don't have it. That's why it's tentative. But we'll have a flyer out hopefully by next week.
Someone mentioned to me, this is off topic of what you're talking about, they saw, those flashing lights saying how fast you're
Yes.
going.
Yes.
I thought that we had decided not to go with.
That's the, yeah, don't do that rumor. I don't want to take credit for that. That has nothing to do with us, county.
Oh, okay.
And they're pretty much, you'll see them in front of schools, like they've already come down on the kid glider. They're not going to be out forever. They're temporary.
Wow.
But in light of the tragedy last year, with the school in Fort Orange, you have the 2 schools on Main Street, and that's why they're there. And then you have the, obviously at Blake, the private schools, but they went ahead and put these signs up, if you will, so.
So it was county.
It was county, and we didn't do that as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have been coming up to me and say, hey, thanks for getting those signs out. I'm like, heck, I can't. I'm not going to say you're taking credit, not going to take credit for that.
Okay.
I asked you,
What was that?
since those signs came up, I had a question that, someone that, when they're taking the kids to Surrey, when they get off the highway to make that left turn, the traffic is always coming. So there was a suggestion that could we put up a four-way stop sign at Summit to give them a break. My response to them was that that's a county road, although it's in our street. The last time I tried to get a blinking light up was at the firehouse, and they said that they did a traffic study, and because it didn't meet the number of cars that needed.
And I will say that's a major thoroughfare, put a four-way up. You put a four-way up there, you're probably going to get some accidents.
Yeah.
You can start with the flashing and strobes and all that, but you've got people with muscle memory that have been going through there for years.
Well, the flash and strobe was actually at the firehouse, but
No, I'm talking about if you had a four-way stop, whenever you put up a new stop sign, you want to have something flashing, at least for a while, to let people know this is a new stop sign. But with that intersection, yeah, I would be leery about that.
Or
But that would be like,
for the lights at the fire station, the fire department can install to have vehicles stop while they're coming out for an emergency. They're $120,000 to install them. The fire department will not put it in their budget for Lake Elmo because we're too small of a town.
well, when I made the
they wouldn't be able to do it just for traffic control.
When I made the
Or
request,
the fire vehicles coming in and out.
when I made the request a while ago, what came up was that they did a traffic study and they said that we didn't have enough traffic at that time. But this was before Ivy Pond, and this is before Lake Memorial. So I was just answering the person that asked me about the four-way, and I explained that to him. I said maybe it might be something that we might want to be looking at again, because the traffic volume has gotten a heck of a lot more since then. And they were able to shut it down because, you ain't got a traffic control there. So it might be something to consider.
It's a county road, so that means it'll be around a while.
I don't have a cheat because
I like that personally.
I'm sorry.
I'm worried about this one at 44, so it's not like how to work and how are we going to get to work? We'll see how that works.
Please, we done? No, we got.
Unless you have anything else.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you. We're about ready to move to the quasi-judicial. Does anyone here have any ex parte communications with any one of these three? No? Okay. Gentlemen, we're ready for the quasi. Say what you say. Okay, good question. You do all at one time. Is there anything separately? Ex parte. Ex parte? That was the question I asked. We already did. Well, you guys are talking. We were talking over here.
Oh, we got a sidebar, okay.
Okay.
See, you're on.
So, can we do them all at once? Yes.
I make a motion, we approve the certificate of appropriateness for item 10A, B, and C.
I second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any comments?
I just have a question.
All in favor?
I have a question. Okay, so, yes, there's, I know we voted, I just need more clarification on what we voted, right? When we voted for this, and they have no's, that means those were turned down, and it stays like they can't come back with that, correct?
You're voting on the recommendation.
Yeah.
Which is the no's that are on there. Okay, that's what I thought, I just wanted to double check.
Yes, that's coming
So I
before you.
understood it. Like, okay.
Can I speak on behalf of the absence? I'm representing them. And I, before I say anything, Ariel Faith, representing 274 West Washington, Lake Elmo, Florida, representing, I believe you're talking in reference to the house on Main Street. There was a no on the, it was actually conditions on the no. If it was gable, then it was approved. They proposed a hip, and that was no. But if they brought back a gable, that was approved based on the meeting. So I don't know if that's, and the paperwork that we submitted right afterward, I literally did both of those, that one and the one on the summit. Everything we submitted was revised based on the historic board's recommendations, and that was not submitted to you. So that was a little disappointing, because to me it's confusing looking at the red lines from the draft, the Bobby Morales, when some of those were just drafting issues. So for you guys, I see that as being confusing, what are all these red things for? I had submitted clean drawings with modifications requested, and it wasn't submitted to you guys. So just want you to know that. Maybe staff can take, just check on that, why that's not getting to the commission.
Yeah, we'll talk to Bobby because these come directly to us from him.
You match it after the historic review?
Yeah, Roxanne, is that the case?
What was that, sorry?
That Bobby Morales sends us these
Yes.
certificates?
After the historic board meetings?
Yes.
Oh, then that's a problem on his end, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. But anyways, thank you.
Hey Mo, I said hi.
Okay, well.
You text me. Okay, next public forum. There are 2 yellow cards. Nancy Weary.
Nancy Mary, 435 West Delaware. This year is the 7th Lake Helen Little City Big Sale Citywide Yard Sale. It is October 10th through 12th. And every year I come before the commission and ask them to waive the participants' $5 yard sale fee that the city typically charges. So,
Make a motion that we waive the fees as we've done historically.
I second
Is there a way of identifying who's participating and who's not? So that when police officers or whoever goes around, they can, if somebody's not participating, they can, hey, you didn't pay for your permit.
we typically do have a few people who just set up. Some people even register, something will happen. And they might make it on the map if the map's already printed and they're not on. So we just kind of go part of the territory, I think.
The permit will be issued during that period of time, just for that.
And you're waiving the fees, right?
They wait,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
typically they just.
It's just maybe somebody might
register with
participate
me.
without being used.
Yeah, they typically have not registered with the city before. They just register with me and put all the registrants on a map and circulate the maps. So,
it. It's $5.
So technically, we're waiving the fees for that time period.
You're going to have, somebody does a yard sale,
Yeah.
that period of time, they're waiting that because presumptively they're.
but it's better for everybody to register because it definitely will drive the people to you if you're registered. So.
So we have a motion or something.
Yeah, second, all in favor? Aye. So passed.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Ron?
Ron Perry, 451 West Michigan. I know we went through the budget today, and I was out of town, but I listened to all of your meetings. Was there a meeting that I missed that went over the funds coming into the city? I've never seen anything that shows the funds that are coming into the city, what we get from the state, what we get for franchise fees. You're shaking it. When was that?
Yeah, that was
The
the
last workshop we had was that.
Zach provided all the estimated revenues from the state and the various departments.
Okay, I appreciate that. Also, I'm very disappointed in the little pantry tonight, I just want to let you guys know that. None of us are missing a meal, but there are people in this town that are missing meals. And if we're gonna go by the legalities, and if we're gonna get sued, are we gonna keep our parks open? Are we gonna put in $150,000 worth of basketball courts and then tear them up because somebody might get hurt? You know, you gotta think about this. It's been going on for months. Rogers pretty much squashed it, and then it got brought back up. And there's no, and you said you didn't hear much about this, but that last meeting was appalling. City administrator, the mayor, Charlene, personally attacked a citizen. Personally. And then a race card was thrown up by the mayor, which there has never been a race card thrown by anybody in the audience, and it was brought up. And that's uncalled for. You would not be the mayor if we were a racist group. So I'm just saying, there's an apology should be made to Charlene, to Nancy, because you cut her off, and she did not come up here and defend herself to this commission after she was personally attacked. Is my 3 minutes up?
Yes.
Thank you. I guess it is. You're telling me it is.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
At this point, the commission reports. Someone.
Okay, I have several things I wanted to bring up. Arbor Day planning is starting already. Thank you, Roxanne, for all the research you've already done. The Arbor Day is celebrated in Florida the third Friday of January because our planting season is different than other parts of the country. We have been doing it on that Saturday to go with local culture. So it will be Saturday, January 14th, if the commission still is fine with that. And would like to propose a mix of native fruit and native trees to be given away this year. Of course, again, at no cost to the citizens through taxpayer dollars, it would be all fundraising. And with a plan that whatever is left over be installed in our public areas and watered. We would need to have a watering plan. If there's if there's a consensus that that's all right with everyone here, we'll move forward.
What was it, Arbor Day?
Saturday, January 14th. And also I wanted to bring up, we implemented Light Up Lake Helen night last December, and the goal was for the Choo Choo crew to to have a night that was for Lake Helen and raise funds for holiday decorations. And there were funds received and then was matched by the city. I think we're around 6,000, 5,000, something around that mark. And in order to gain traction, and the goal is to, of course, get bigger and bigger things to decorate our public area, especially Lake Park, where we're known for, of course, the Butler Express. So the thought is to decorate, draw traffic through our restaurants and businesses, and of course entertain area, common area for folks visiting us for the Butler Express. But the thought is to continue the tradition again this year, if it's agreeable, and to look at a small decorations that can be installed this year using some of the funds, and then continue to stockpile, if you will, the money so that we can afford the bigger ones, because they're quite expensive. I'm talking like $10,000, $12,000, $20,000 for some of the larger ornaments, the walk-through ones, or the large photo ops you can walk into, sit down. So if the commission likes that idea, I can bring some decorations before you, such as banners or lights, etc. And then we'll, again, find another day for the next commission meeting for us to approve for another Light Up Lake Helen night.
Very good.
One little suggestion I could look into. When Deltona wanted to decorate like for like $1,000 or $2,000 per spool. I think there's like 500 feet or 1,000 feet of lights on each spool. They're not, they're those big spools, they're not the little tiny spools, big giant spools. So I want to look into something like that, and that would be out on City Hall, or even sidewalks and stuff like that.
Sound good?
Oh,
sure. Very good,
for those that are still here, if everybody remembers David Byers, he passed away. They had his viewing and family visitation today at Langford, or just before this meeting at Langford. His funeral is tomorrow at Lake Memorial Baptist Church at 11 a.m. with interment at Lake Helen Casadega Cemetery following that service, and a, I keep forgetting what it's called, celebration of life following that at the, what used to be the gym station, I don't know what we call it now, Great Art Center.
That building over there.
Anyway, if anybody's available during those times, want to come out and pay their respects to the family and everything else, you're welcome to come out to it. The other one is the Massey James Youth Center is doing their annual coat drive to supply winter clothing for those needy families and stuff. It's going at the actual date and time of it is going to be October 14th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, and everything can be brought by the Massey James Center. The American Legion is helping them in this, and if you don't want to wait that long, you can drop it by the American Legion. We're open Thursday afternoons and Saturday afternoons, so that gives you time you can drop it off, and then on the 14th we'll take it down or to them on the citizens' behalf from Lake Helen.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the final road.
I
I got things tucked away here. I got a good.
Roger, we're over 3 minutes.
I thought we had 5,000 minutes. This has to do with last month's meeting. As your representatives, most commissioners try to bring unity to Lake Helen's community. As a united community, we can accomplish anything. Our problem is that the vocal minority continues to promote division for personal vendettas. At our commission meeting on August 8th, our mayor presented a statement that, in my opinion, created an air of division. He promoted accusations against a couple of citizens and enters a racist tone about a situation that had nothing to do with racism. Most of the time, the problem has nothing to do with ethnicity as much as it has to do with attitudes or processes. Then he adjourned the meeting without allowing a rebuttal from those he attacked. I guess he believes his position enables him to shut people down so he doesn't receive criticism. This promotes the continual division in our community. So I ask each of us to review what will be presented to see if its content divides or unites. As an example, this statement was rewritten 3 times to remove content that may have created divisions. We will not be able to please everyone because of those Facebook trolls and diehard residents that are stuck in their own worlds and will never look at all sides of the issues. We need to start pulling together instead of continually fighting.
Sound good?
I'm done.
I'm taking a little bit of a different view on what happened at last month's meeting. Did it get out of hand? Absolutely. Were there lies told? Yes. There were fake stories out there in the Beacon. People were reading from websites, things that they were getting names, that nothing happened. It was just an out of control, heated meeting. What the mayor said, I'm gonna kind of stand by him a little bit here, because I don't think what he did in making remarks about historically what has happened to the black community or names that have been called. As a woman, as a female, as a director in large corporations, I've been called a lot of names. So, you know, my take is, I don't care whether you're a woman or a man or what, you stand up, you throw your shoulders back, and you just keep going forward to make the path right for everyone. We're gonna have to keep it narrow, and we're gonna have to keep it straight. The one concern that I got out of the meeting was when our CA actually made a comment that he was being discriminated against based on his religion or the lack thereof, and that the deputy clerk was being discriminated against based on race. I've never seen any of that happen in any meeting or in any conversation. I took away from that that was really kind of setting us up for possible lawsuits. It's not winnable. Nobody would have won it. It was just remarks that were made. And I guess they were just heated remarks. So therefore, I guess the takeaway is basically I'm agreeing with Rogers that we really need to put a cap on our words, and we need to put a cap on this city. My concerns right now are more about the budget. I have been driving myself crazy with the budget. Therefore, I haven't been involved in too many city activities. I apologize, I missed the 9/11 event. I had planned to go, but I didn't have a nurse show up for my husband. And I really would have loved to have attended. But other than that, I'm going to end my part of it and say no more comments.
I got nothing.
Chastity?
Hey.
That's your name, right?
That is mine.
I read the article that was put in the Beacon, and actually, while I was in Hollywood, one of the mayors told me about the article, and I hadn't seen it and read it. When I did read it, there were a lot of inaccuracies, and to her credit, I went to the Beacon. We sat down and we went step by step through what was said. She was open, and I didn't know that Eli is now the editor of the Beacon, and you kind of taking her place. And because Eli has been around so long, it's almost like a casual conversation to talk to her about things that come up. In the 12 years that I've been sitting on this commission, I realized that I've been to over 250 meetings. I probably have about a 95% attendance record, so I don't miss much. And in those 295 meetings, last month's meeting was the worst I've ever seen. Now I'm speaking. In the end of the meeting, after everybody gets a chance to speak, each one of the zones, what we used to call zone, you can speak about something happening in your zone. After each person is speaking, when the mayor gets finished, that's the end of the meeting. If the camera is there to quell the meeting or whatever, that's the last thing to be said. We're not, and then you're not trying to get a back and forth, because the back and forth just gets heated and heated and heated. Now, my comment that was made, I guess when Roger said that we have thin skin, and so we had to get from Roger to Sister Donata, who actually said that everything that Roger said, it was almost like they were communicating. So my response was, and I'll be 76 on next Sunday. On 76 years old, I've heard a lot of things. I've been in the midst of, not just on racial issues, but about being in law enforcement and being called everything else you can name, whatever you want to call a cop that ain't his name. So thin skin I don't have, Roger. And I didn't necessarily think that you were directing it toward me, but my comment was to say that I'm not the person that would have been so upset and been so hurt that somebody would say, and I've never said anybody in this city has ever said that to me. So let's make that clear. This was not me saying that either Nancy or Kelly or anybody else would have said that. I haven't had that to happen. And the reason that I also said when I was sworn in, one of the things that Martin Luther King said, he wanted us to be able to get to a place that we would be judged by the content of our character and not the color of our skin. I'm not sitting here because I'm a black mayor. I'm sitting here because of the content of my character that has been maintained and established over the last 15 years. I'm not somebody that's dropped out of the pot. I've been here. I've been doing the work. And one thing that I mentioned about our city commission, whether we realize it or not, this is not a competition. We are a team. What we do here represents the city. What any one of us says can cost the city money. We're having budget hearings now. Everybody wants to be so tight about how we spend our money. Last year's commission cost us the $156,000 that we have to pay back to the Creative Arts Cafe because we were non-compliant. It cost us $156,000. Last year's commission terminated the contract of our city administrator, and the city administrator search cost us probably another $85,000. Last year's commission created a hostile work environment for the city clerk, and she quit. How do I know? Because she told me. And I recommended to her as a former city commissioner, former vice mayor, that anything that would create a hostile work environment, you should not tolerate it. So, having said that, again, I've seen where a slight conversation, a statement has cost the city $55,000 because someone, a commissioner said, oh, I'm glad we hired this person because she's young and she can grow with the city. So words have consequences. Whether you're saying that somebody did something in there, I said, law enforcement, you don't just get to say, well, a bunch of people said something about me and they were trying to intimidate me and they're threatening me. You have to have at least proof. You have to have something that shows that what you're saying has some basis in fact. Because that's all we're dealing with. So, again, I apologize for anything that occurred on that night in that meeting that was either interpreted or whether or not I was actually pissed off. But if you notice, I'm the only one that's made that apology. At the end of the meeting is over, whatever happened, and there was a lot of inaccuracies in here. Roxanne did not get hired illegally. The last commission under the last city administrator hired her because the last deputy clerk quit in the middle of her employment, and the city administrator had to hire somebody to take her place. And he went into the charter and he hired her on 90-day temporary. But the next commission meeting, Rick Basso, because of things that were said, very inartful, I do say so, Roger, if I may, to say that.
In the charter.
What I'm saying is that in speaking about hiring Roxanne, you said, I didn't see anything in her resume that an 11th grader couldn't do. And she,
Fourth
Or
grade.
my grandson.
okay, but the point of the matter is, this woman here is studying for a doctoral degree, and she's probably been the biggest asset to my being elected mayor and coming into the mayor as being an August primary winner, and knowing that I'm going to be the mayor in November. So when they hired Roxanne for the 90 days, and then Rick Basso made it a motion because he made a comment that if you have a problem with her being a temporary, how about we make a motion that we make her permanent with a $70,000 salary?
That was not.
Please let me finish.
That was no, because you are spreading wrong information. It was not because the way she was, it was because Rick Basso was,
raising your voice.
because I've got to stop you from talking, so I can get my point across.
Never mind.
Rick Basso did not hire her for those reasons. He hired her
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
the previous administration's wrongdoing and violation of the charter. That's the reason why he hired her.
Thank you very much for that piece of information. You could have used that.
Bunch of bullshit, that's what it is.
That's why I hate the law. It's misinformation.
I'll tell you when we all back up. When we all back up.
You just gotta be careful who you attack and when you attack.
I saw it,